Raider Nation, good morning. It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And I don't know about you, I'm pretty fired up today for our Week 9 matchup up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I get it. There's probably not a lot of hope out there for the silver and black. But you know what? I'm waking up today, and I'm going to be fired up because today's the last chance for the Raiders to be able to figure it out. So coming up here on today's show, I'm going to give you my Raiders' keys to victory up against Jacksonville. At the very end of today's show, I'm going to give you my score prediction. My score prediction is going to be based on if the silver and black follow my keys to victory, we should be able to find out a way to win. Now, if you do not know, I am going to be giving away a signed Raiders jersey on today's show. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you pull up, and make sure you're ready to rock and roll. I don't know who's going to win it. I wish all of you the best of luck. But if you are a sad Raiders fan, at least maybe winning a jersey signed by a Raiders legend will put a smile on your face. Let's go to the keys to victory here up against the Jags. The first one, and it continuously is probably my first one, it's you got to be able to show me that you can make adjustments. And it's not only being able to show me that you made adjustments or can make adjustments in the game, I also want to see that our staff during the bye week and that extra week off made the proper adjustments. Offense, defense, special teams, put players in the right positions, right? Darian Porter should be playing corner over Kai Blue Kelly. Jackson Powers-Johnson, I know you're never going to do it, but he should end up playing center. Like, there's so many players at a position. I hope that we see the Raiders make the proper adjustments. But I'm also looking at you, Chip Kelly. You're supposed to be this offensive coordinator guru, and everybody around the NFL is laughing at you. And honestly, I'm laughing at you too because you're unable to make adjustments. The Raiders, points by quarter, 18th in the NFL with 3.7. And then guess what? Teams figure us out, and we suck in the second quarter. We're literally ranked dead last. Third quarter, still not any good, 25th in the NFL. But then guess what happens? After we make those second half adjustments, teams figure us out in the fourth freaking quarter. If you're going to be so damn vanilla, I would at least like a few sprinkles here and there. And when I say sprinkles, I want a sprinkle of JPJ here. I want a sprinkle of Darian Porter here. I want a sprinkle of Ashton Jeanty here. I want a sprinkle of offense that freaking gets me fired up. Chip, I'm telling you, man, you are on my last nerve. You're on Raider Nation's last nerve. You know who else is on the last nerve? It's Geno Smith. And my next key to victory is Geno can't suck. Like, he can't play awful. If he's bad, we're going to lose. If he plays good, I think we have a fighting shot. And I say that because Geno needs to not suck, and that's going to open up everything for us, including the ground game. But when you look at the Jags defense, though, there are areas where we can win in some matchups. And you got Tyler Lockett, you got Brock Bowers, you got Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Michael Mayer. That's the best receiving tight end. I don't know, what's 5 players? I was going to say triple, quadruple, it doesn't matter. It's the best receiving core that the Raiders have had this season. And the Jags have allowed 15 passing touchdowns this season. That's tied for 29th in the league. They've allowed 245.7 passing yards per game. That's 27th in the NFL. And because this is the best offense that the Raiders have had coming out of the bye week, it's time for Geno to show that he was actually worth the trade and actually worth the extension. Because over the past 4 weeks, hasn't been pretty. It's when you look at these teams, it's Titans, Chiefs, Indianapolis Colts, and then also the Chicago Bears. So, like, those are 4 teams that there's some good, there's some bad mixed in there, but the numbers here by Geno Smith are horrific over the past 4 weeks. And when you look at those numbers at a 17-game pace, I do this because I think people understand what starting quarterback numbers are supposed to look like from a 17-game sample size and maybe not so much just from a 4-game sample size. But imagine if a starting quarterback in today's day and age NFL had these type of numbers. These are horrific. And you're not going to win many football games, if any, as basically we're a 2-win team right now. So, like, to me, Geno's got to be able to figure it out. And Geno can't suck for his own self because, like, Aidan O'Connell's waiting. Kenny Pickett's waiting. And I put out a poll earlier in the week. Who do you want the Raiders starting quarterback to be? And Geno Smith was by far last on that list. Kenny Pickett had more votes. I think Aidan O'Connell had triple the amount of votes as Geno. Geno, I know you got your bag, but I hope that you still take a little bit of pride in being our quarterback. And I want to see it this week. Because if I don't see it this week, I am officially off the Geno Smith train. Let's go to the next key to victory up against Jacksonville. Run with Jeanty. Run with Jeanty If we don't freaking run the football with Ashton Jeanty this week, I'm going to lose my effing mind because I'm done with the excuses from this coaching staff. I'm done with we're really trying to get the ball in his stomach. Are you? Are you just saying that because you don't have the balls to actually admit that you're wrong? Because Ashton has to be the focal point for this team. He had only one touch in the first 15 scripted plays against Kansas City. So that means Chip Kelly made the decision without Brock Bowers, without Jacoby Myers, out of the first 15 plays to have only one of those plays be Ashton Jeanty. Do you all realize how dumb that flipping is? From top to bottom, how idiotic that is? And I don't care if we're losing by 7 points. I don't care if we're losing by 14 points. We have to stick with Jeanty, and we got to get that ground game going because that's going to help out Geno Smith get going. What I don't want to see is a game where Geno's just sitting back there throwing the ball 30, 40 times. We can do it. We're just going to keep losing. And if the Raiders staff is okay with keep losing, I just know this. I am personally not okay with us just continuously lose, and not only kind of lose. We've been getting our shit pushed in the past few weeks. So before we get into more of my keys to victory here, you can go on Prize Picks right now, and you can pick more or less for Ashton Jeanty, 16.5 rush attempts. So you can let me know, more or less. The reason why I am going to go with more is because I have been talking to a lot of people, and the thing that I am hearing over and over and over again, the Raiders are very serious this week about running with the ball. And if they don't do it this week, I'm telling you this right now, I will never believe anything that I hear ever again from the coaching staff's mouth. Now, if you're also like, yeah, Mitch, I've been hearing the same thing, then hey, go with the more and go with our sponsor, Prize Picks, because this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action has never been better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right, that never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app. Copy their lineup in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds to turn your sports opinions into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Next thing that you got to do if you want to beat the Jags, you got to force Trevor to throw. You got to make Trevor Lawrence beat you with his arm, and don't allow him to get his legs going. Don't allow Jacksonville's ground game going, because if you do, that's going to open up his play action, and he's just a lot better quarterback. The Jacksonville Jaguars this season, in their wins, have averaged 136.5 rushing yards in the wins, only 97.3 in the losses. Also, Trevor Lawrence is averaging 10.3 rushing yards per game in their losses, and he is getting way more success in their wins. The Jags O-line also, I think, is better in run blocking than in this pass blocking. And the 3 losses that Jacksonville has this season, they have allowed, I believe it's 15 or 16 sacks. My point is this. Because the offensive line is predicated and made to be able to run the football, if you make them throw the ball with Trevor a little bit more, you're also hurting that offensive line. You're hurting that ground game. And if you're able to make them one-dimensional, just like any team in the NFL, if you make somebody one-dimensional, but especially Trevor Lawrence, and especially if you rattle him, he's a lot like Justin Herbert in the sense of if you rattle him, he's a different quarterback. And that's what I'm hoping, because what I hope we don't get is the Trevor Lawrence that beat the Kansas City Chiefs a few weeks ago when we were live on this channel, because that guy was a real one in that game. Let's go to the final key to victory here. Capitalize on penalties. If there's one thing that you know Jacksonville's going to do, it's going to commit penalties. So we as a team need to be ready to capitalize on those mistakes. Good teams capitalize when other teams make mistakes. In this season, no team has committed more penalties per game than the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are ranked dead last in the National Football League in penalties, where they are around 9.3 per game. Jacksonville also gives up 75.4 penalty yards per game. That's 30th in the NFL. And yeah, they are 12th in the league in terms of first downs per game. So essentially, you're going to get an extra 2 first downs in this game. My point is this. You're a 2-5 football team. Nobody believes in you. Nobody. I mean, I'm not saying the players don't, but outside of your own walls, nobody believes in you. So instead of playing afraid to lose, can we please play to actually try to win a football game? Because I think the last time we actually tried to win and played a game that it actually looked like we tried to win a game was, I would say, week 1 against the New England Patriots. Maybe the Chicago game. The problem in that game was Geno Smith was just the worst quarterback on the planet with those 3 interceptions. But if the Raiders do these keys, I think that we're going to be able to find a way to come away with the dub. So coming up next here on the program, Raiders versus Jaguars prediction. And I want to be clear, my prediction is based on if the Raiders follow those keys, I believe that we're going to be able to find a way to win this football game. Jacksonville's 4-3. I know the Raiders are 2-5. But football's a weird, weird sport, man. I'll tell you what my prediction is here in a moment, but I do want to tell you all again, since this week is going to be so different for me, I'm going to be live at all these times, so make sure you put it in your calendar. It's all Eastern time. I'm going to be live about an hour right before the Raiders game, technically in 65 minutes before. Then I'm going to be going live on Monday. No Monday Night Football coverage. I am going to stay longer, though, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. my time, noon y'all's time. And I'm going to be live for a long time, chopping it up with y'all, talking about that Jags game. NFL trade deadline day. I'm going to be going live at noon Eastern time. Then Thursday Night Football, and I'll be back on that Friday. I got a jam-packed week, and I hope that you guys pull up with me all week long. Let's go then to what this game is. So Jacksonville's 3-point favorites. The over-under in this one is 44.5 in Las Vegas. It's in a dome game. So again, Geno, it's your last flipping chance to be able to figure it out and to be able to get it going. The reason why I'm going to go with the Raiders getting a dub, and I got the silver and black winning this game 24-23 over Jacksonville. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a close one. But if we're able to capitalize on penalties, if we're able to get the ground game going with Jeanty, as long as we make proper adjustments and Geno Smith doesn't suck, I think the Raiders are going to get a win on Sunday.